100 most common Urdu words. Let's get started. Ka, ki, ke. The word is the same, but it has different forms depending on the subject. So you'll see this happens a lot in Urdu, that words change depending on the subject. For example, ka, the first word, ka, it is used for singular masculine subject. Don't worry about the form for now. Just pay attention to how ka, ki, ke share the same feature, this k sound in the beginning. Ka, ki, ke. Ka for masculine singular, ki for feminine either singular or plural, and ke for masculine plural or mixed plural. All of these words mean the same thing, of. May, it means in, it's a preposition, in. You can also have the word may as a subject I is also may in Urdu. So may, in or I. Hona, hona. This is the base form of the verb to be. Just like in English, it changes depending on the subject, right? So you have I am, you are. This verb changes as well, but it's still the most common verb in English and Urdu, right? Or, and, or. Say, from. Go, do. Name. One thing to notice that Urdu has split ergativity, that subjects have different form in the past tense. So this ne actually marks the subject in the past tense. This is actually a subject marker like in Japanese, right? We have wa. So here we have ne, the subject marker, especially in the past tense. Is or us. Is or us. So this word has two pronunciations depending on the diacritic that is used with it. But usually we don't put the diacritic, that's why I did not write the diacritic. So is would mean this and us would mean that. Is this, us that. Ke, that. Now, the difference between us, that, and ke, that is how you use them, right? When you say that man, you would say us aadmi, that man. When you use ke, it's like he said that. Usne kaha ke. He said that, and then you say it, right? He said that he is sick. Usne kaha ke wo bimar hai. Par, on, par. It can also sometimes mean but. Par, karna. Again, this is the verb in its base form. So you would usually see its chain form, kiya, kar, karo, etc. But they'll have the same feature of ka, the sound here. They'll share the same features somehow. Just like in English we have do, did, done, but the verb is same. The same goes with karna. Bhi as well, also, or to. It has a meaning of being added to something, right? Additional, more like additional. So bhi, it's not b, it's bhi. There's extra air, bhi, extra puff of air, bhi. Ek, ache, ache. You can think of ache in English, like hurt and ache, right? Ache, it means one. Ache as in 1, 2, 3, or one person. Ek, do, teen, or ek आदमी. Ye, this. Ye, this. Nahi, nahi, nahi. At the end you can hear a nasal sound. Nahi, e. We don't say the n at the end. We simply nasalize the vowel at the end. We say nahi. It means no or not. Again, just like is and us, we have two pronunciations for this word, in or un, depending on the diacritic. If you have in, it means these. If you have un, it means those. In, these, un, those. Kya, 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 what? It's more like a question marker as well. In certain cases, it's more like a question marker. Just like in Japanese, for example, you have ka as a question marker. It marks a question. We don't actually have an equivalent. I just wrote what here as a question word, but it does not have any equivalent in English. To, 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 so. Wo or wo. The funny thing is, in Urdu, you don't have a clear contrast between v and wa. So what happens is these words can be said like wo or wo. No one would hear the difference because the sound, the actual sound of this letter v is actually between a v and a wa. It's wa, va, va, okay? So it's in between the two. It sometimes sounds like a v and sometimes sounds like a wa. Here, you can say either one of these. Vo, vo, that, or he, she, or it. Vo. Lié, lié, for. Gehna, gehna. Again, a verb. What it means that you'll see different forms of this verb depending on context. Jana, 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 to go. Again, a verb, and you'll see different forms of this verb. Jo, 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 which, or that, or who, as a relative pronoun. The watch that you gave me, the watch that you gave me, the book which you gave me, the person who told you. So you would use jo, jo. Ga, ga, ga. This again has no equivalent in English. It's a marker. It marks the future tense. Ga. And just like the first word that we saw, that was ga, 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 gi, ge. Here you'd also hear it as ga, gi, ge, depending on the subject. Ga, gi, ge. So this marks the future tense. He, he, he. The H is just like in English. He. Okay, he, only, or just. Na, na, not. Jab, 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 when. Apna, apna, apna. Again, just like the word ka or ga, you'll hear the forms, different forms of this word apna, like apna, apni, and apne. Apna, apni, apne. It means own, like his own, his, her own. Op. Op. It means you, but it's of the formal you with respect. You. You. Do not confuse it with thou, as we would say in English. Thou is singular. You, but in a less formal condition. But we don't use it anymore in English. Thou, right? So that would translate to tum in Urdu, but op is the formal you. Op. It can also be the plural you, op, singular, formal, or op, plural, formal. Dena. 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 Give. Again, a verb. It will change its form depending on the subject and tense and the number and the gender of the subject. Tak. 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 Till. Until. Now, one thing to notice in Urdu is that the T's are much softer and dentalized. You don't say tak, you say tak. You bring your tongue out and you touch your teeth. Ta, ta, tak, tak. And the same goes for the k here. You don't say tak, you say tak, tak. Bod. 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 After. Unho or inho. Again, it has two variations depending on the diacritic you put on the first letter here. Unho or inho. It means they. Again, is the subject in the past tense, not in the present tense, but usually in the past tense. Saat. 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 The T at the end, this T, this is actually the T, and it's a T with an extra puff of air. So we have Saat, Saat, the number, Saat, the Saat, and Saat, with extra air. Saat, 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 Saat. It means with. You often hear it as Ke Saat, Ke Saat. Either Saat or Ke Saat. You'll often see this variation. Lekin. 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 But. But. Koi. Koi. It can mean any or anyone. Koi. Again, the K is not koi, but koi. 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 Wala or vala. It's actually wala. Vala. The one who or the one with. The one who or the one with. Or the one, simply the one. Wala. So again, wala, you'll hear wale or wali. Wala, wali, wale, wala, wali, wale. Okay, so it depends on the subject, the one who or the ones who. Kisi, kisi, kisi. Any or anyone. Again, an ergative. Ya, ya is or. It does not change its form, okay? So don't worry about this one. It's just ya all the time. Ya. Hum. Hum. This is actually genderless, this subject, so you don't have to worry about the forms of this word. This word is always hum. If it's two female speakers, it's just hum. If it's two male speakers, it's hum. Again, it's hum all the time. Ke liye. Ke liye. Ke liye. Ke liye. Ke liye. Ke liye. For. Zyada. 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 More. Mulk. 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 Country. Baat. 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 talk or saying. It's more like the action of talking, right? So that's the thing, the result that you get, a conversation. A conversation can also be a baat. I need to have a talk with you. That's what we have here, baat. Tarha, like. It's not a verb. Agar, if. Ab. It does not have different forms. It's not ib, ub. It's just always ab. Now. Hukumat. Sorry for the wrong spellings here. It should be you. Hukumat. Okay, it means government. Hukumat. And this word is usually mispronounced as hakumat, and that's why I even wrote, I think, hakumat. And I had to correct myself for the pronunciation for this word is hukumat. Gam, work. Hasil, found or achieved. Hasil. And that marks the end of our part 1 of 2. So I'll see you next time.